Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiast. Right off the bat on today's show, again we're going to talk about the refreshed version of the 2018 Ford Mustang. Last time out we talked about the 0 to 60 run, which is hugely impressive for that V8 version with the 10-speed automatic. Now we don't have an official number as far as that 0 to 60 jaunt as of yet, but Ford did release official pricing for this version of the Mustang. If you get the EcoBoost 4-cylinder version, it comes at a starting price of $26,485 US. But if you get the GT version, that has a starting price of $35,995 US. And if you head on down to your Ford dealership right now, you can take your order in and reserve your copy today. Next up on the list, well, we finally got official info about the brand new Model 3. In fact, a big star-studded gala that they had out on the West Coast, showing off the brand new machines and 30 production vehicles that have been done so far, and some of those heading into owners' hands. But we got a little bit of a clearer look at what's going on because, as I talked about in videos before, this first go-round of the Model 3 was going to be the simplest version there was. That wasn't exactly the case, because if you want a brand new Model 3 and be one of the first go-rounders, you do have to pay a little bit of a premium, and that comes in the premium of options. The $35,000 vehicle does get expensive quick when you put at least a couple of the options that they claim that you're going to have to be the first go-round. Now, the vehicle specs out in rear-wheel drive trim, but you have to go with the optional 310-mile range battery, which I'm assuming most people would opt for anyway. That does cost you an extra $9,000. You also have to go with the premium package, which does ramp up the price another $5,000, but gets you a lot of the niceties on the inside especially, which I'm assuming that most folks would want. Now, for the 310-mile range battery version, that does 0 to 60 in just 5.1 seconds with a top speed of 140 miles an hour. Now, there's going to be a 220-mile range version that will come out in the fall. That'll do 0 to 60 in just 5.6 seconds. Now, the vehicle's interior with the premium package comes with leather and a lot of soft touch materials. Also comes with a 15-inch center mount touchscreen, Wi-Fi capability, LTE connectivity, along with a lot of other goodies on the inside. Now, if you want the autopilot feature, that being the enhanced autopilot feature, that is a premium as well. Another $5,000 will be spent on that, which I'm assuming most people would anyway. Along with the self-driving capability, to unlock that will cost you an extra $3,000. Now, if you want to use one of their superchargers that Tesla has out and about, albeit it's not free like it used to be in a lot of the older Tesla models, you will have to buy a package or pay for it at the pump, as it were. But it does gain back 170 miles of range in just an hour's time, which is hugely impressive. Probably one of the most interesting things that I thought about this brand new machine is the fact that it comes in only 5 colors, which isn't the most interesting part. The interesting part is one of the colors is standard equipment, and it's black. If you want this car in black, it's totally free to get it in black. Not the car, but just the paint option. If you want any one of the 4 optional colors, like the color of this particular machine in the photograph, it's going to cost you an extra $1,000. I just thought that was kind of hilarious, especially black being the standard color. Reminds you back of the old Model T days. You can have it in any color you want as long as it's black. Next up on the list, you may remember this particular story from several months back, and it's a group of Viper enthusiasts, along with a handful of sponsors, and a lot of donations from a lot of folks from some GoFundMe accounts, to actually send over a pair of brand new ACR Vipers to the Nürburgring Nordschleife loop to try to take a crack at being the quickest production car around the ring. Obviously, FCA doesn't have the cash to throw this deal down, so a group of enthusiasts have gone at this, and they've been over there over the past several days. Now, they were plagued with a lot of issues, that being one of them being the handling of the machine right off the bat, which is something that endurance racer Dominic Farnbacher, who has had little inside knowledge of the Viper itself, said that it was a little bit of a tricky car to handle, which it is one of those vehicles that's a little bit tricky at the edge. But they also had a lot of rain issues and a lot of parts of the track where it was still open to the public, which made it a little bit tricky to make a real hard lap run. But they did get one good day in with one good lap, and their first ever lap came in with a boomer. It did a 7-minute, 3.45 second lap. Yes, just about 4 seconds slower than breaking that 7-minute barrier, which is hugely impressive for this particular machine. In fact, only 2 vehicles are faster than this car, that being the Porsche 918 Spyder and Lamborghini's brand new Performante Huracan. Now, these guys aren't done yet. They left the 2 cars in Europe, and they're planning another trip if they can get the funding together back in August, which are planning on the weather being better and hoping for that sub 7-minute lap. And if you would like to help out in this situation, you can donate to the cause. In fact, I've got the video of their full 7-minute, 3-second lap up on the Facebook page. You can take that over to their Facebook page, and it'll take you to the page where you need to donate to this particular deal. And I think it's kind of a cool deal. These folks want to actually try to go for this deal. So they're planning at least one more shot at this thing, and fingers crossed they may be able to break that 7-minute barrier and possibly break the old production record lap around the Nordschleife loop. Last up on the list, well, the World Rally Championship is in full swing. In fact, the day of the taping of this program was the last stage, power stage, for Rally Finland, which is probably one of the most difficult, most taxing, and definitely the most pucker moments, at least for me, just watching it on the old Red Bull TV, because it was hugely impressive. In fact, this young man took his first ever World Rally win, that being Finnish-born driver Esa-Pekka Lappi. The impressive point about this deal is Mr. Lappi has only driven a World Rally Championship car in anger in a World Rally stage just 3 times before this particular event. Yes, he's only raced 4 World Rallies, albeit he's raced a lot in WRC too, but never in a World Rally Championship car. And in his 4th rally to take the win, along with Gazoo Racing and the brand new Toyota Yaris World Rally Championship team, it was hugely impressive. In fact, for a time, Toyota had locked out the podium of this deal with Juno Hänninen and their big-name driver, that being Jari-Matti Lafferty. Sadly, Mr. Lafferty actually had a little issue with the computer on one of the live stages that cut the engine out, lost over 20 minutes and was out of the rally. He did do a pretty good job of coming back in the power stage, albeit he didn't collect any points in that particular deal. That being said, Esa-Pekka Lappi just looked like a grizzled veteran. The 26-year-old Finnish driver looked like nothing really ever fazed him in this deal. He looks to be a real star of the future in the WRC. And he actually put out the shout-out that he's planning on winning the championship in 2018. And looks like he may have a real shot at this. That being said, too, the Toyota Gazoo Racing team, headed up by Tommi Mäkinen, has done a hugely impressive job in their first go-round at the WRC Championship. This team really looks like they're for real, and definitely with a kid like this behind the wheel, the future looks really bright for them and the rest of that group, along with Jari-Matti Lafferty and Juno Hänninen. This group looks pretty doggone good. 2 more weeks before we get to see Rally Germany, see what this kid can do on tarmac. It's going to be pretty doggone interesting. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Don't forget to like us over on the Facebook page. Links down in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time. Get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.